Kindergarten, today we are going to make alphabet soup. So the first thing we need is a square piece of paper, a red plate if you were at the red table, blue for blue table, yellow for yellow table. I think you get it. Your plate should match your table. You're also going to use oil pastels. So the first thing you need to do is write your name in the middle on the back, because we are going to eventually cut out what we're using, so we want to make sure our name doesn't get cut off too. So I'm going to flip my paper over, put my plate on my paper. Remember, if for some reason you think it doesn't fit, just scooch it over because there's plenty of room. You're going to trace your plate and share your plate with the other people at your table. Next, you're gonna take oil pastels, and you can change the oil pastels depending on what color you want. It's okay if you use lots of different colors. I recommend staying away from the yellow though, because later we're gonna do something with yellow. It's gonna make your letters disappear. So I'm gonna sing my alphabet while I make my uppercase letters, and they're gonna go all over the place, just like when the letters fell out of the coconut tree in Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. So I'm going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z, but I'm not going to finish the rest of the song. Okay, then you're going to do the same thing with your lowercase letters. So I'm going to get a different color I haven't used yet and do my lowercase letters and do the same thing. Okay. Oops, I messed up, but it's okay. I'll just move on. Looks like I'm running out of room, but that's okay. I might actually throw some white letters in here just to see what happens later. Okay, so now that I have all of my noodle letters in our soup, we're going to call them noodles, okay, because that's what they're going to be in our soup. I am going to use the water paint. So you're going to be using liquid tempera, but I'm over at John Muir recording this video and I don't have liquid tempera, so I'm going to use watercolor paint. It's going to work the same way with our water and our paint. So like I said, you are using water tempera cakes, okay, and I'm using watercolor paints. They're a little bit different, but they work the same. I am going to get my brush wet by going tap, 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 and wipe. Okay, then I'm going to wake my paint up, twirly, twirly, twirl like a pretty ballerina. Okay, and I am all loaded up with paint. Then I can take my paint and paint right over top of my letter noodles. I am only going to be using yellow today because our soup is kind of like a chicken noodle soup, and that's the color that chicken noodle soup is. So I don't want you to use black paint or green paint or red paint. Today we're just using yellow paint. I have gotten out of the lines a little bit, but that's okay, because if you remember earlier in the video I said eventually we will cut it out. Okay, so if you get outside the lines, don't panic. Oh no, I messed up a little bit. It's okay, but I should always try my best to stay in the lines. I'm going to work quickly, making sure my brush is dancing on its tippy toes. I don't want to work too much in one spot because my paper might rip. So now that I've got it all covered, you are going to put it on the drying rack. We can fit 4 on a drying rack at a time. Once I am all done with my soup, I am going to get a new piece of paper, and it's going to be a big piece of paper. It's probably about the length of your arm. And this is going to be our background for our soup. So next we're going to take neon oil pastels. Remember, these are the ones that kind of glow under the black light, but you only want to pick 2 colors for now. I think I'm going to pick pink and yellow. So my first color, they are all going to go vertically on my paper. And vertical means that the lines go up and down. So I might start at the bottom of my paper and go up. I might start at the top of my paper and go down, but either way they go from top to bottom, bottom to top. I do want you to push hard because we're going to do something else later to them where you want to push kind of hard. And you can have lines close together, you can have lines far off apart, but I do want you to make sure that you touch the top edge of your paper and the bottom edge of your paper. With my second color of neon oil pastel, I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go horizontally. Horizontally means from side to side. So I'm gonna take my oil pastel from one side all the way to the other side, still pushing kind of hard. And if your oil pastel happens to break when you do this, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It happens. Just make sure all the broken pieces get put back in the container with the others. I have noticed that my paper is starting to get kind of close to the edge, so I can actually just go ahead and take the paper off of the oil pastel, and look, this one's actually already broken inside 3 pieces. So I'm just gonna put the extra pieces back together like a puzzle inside the tray. I'm gonna continue making my vertical and horizontal stripes patterns from one side all the way over to the other side. This is a special pattern called plaid. You may have heard of it before, you may not have heard of it before, but that is what it is called. So once you have this all done, I hope your name is on the back, and please remember that when we write our name, we write our name small. We do not write our paper so it fills the whole back of the paper, because Miss Adams has old lady eyes, and that actually is really hard for old ladies like me to read. So please put this in a nice pile to collect, and I will get it put back in its home. Have fun, kindergarten.